Hello everybody, Slick Phoenix here, and I'm doing a new video on my Advent calculator here. Kind of want to go through it quickly, see how quickly I can get through it for you guys. Maybe even give an example here, depending on how much time I have. So the purpose of this, and I'm not going to get too much into the backstory of creating it, but the purpose of this is to see how many half elixirs you need to use and how many you have left when you're in the middle of the event till you should be able to get all the stuff that you want. That's the purpose of this, and the idea was that by knowing those numbers, you could then more leisurely go through the event, not like push, use HEs, half elixirs for those that aren't familiar with HE, and suddenly finish getting everything you want and you're only halfway through the dates. This was so that you would know from start to end how you could pace yourself so that on the last day you're finishing up and you're not like rushing through it or anything like that. So that's the reason that I made this. So let's go over this quickly and go over where everything is. So these red cells, and then on the input page down here, these green cells are everything you put the input. Everything else is calculation you don't need to mess with. If you see a little black triangle in the corner like that, you just hover over it. There's instructions there. So that's to help you along. And then I'll post the new link to this video here once I post it. Alright, so what you'll do, initially this quick view page, this is where you're going to come and see how many runs you have. I've got primary goals and secondary goals set here back in the input page. So here you'll put your materials, and if you go to the event, so it's in order of the event, so B1 stands for bronze 1, items in the bronze chest. So bronze 1, bronze 2 item, silver chest drops, gold chest drops, and those are in the same order here. This is B1, B2, S, and G. So left to right, it's the same thing. Alright, so now what we'll do, this doesn't go into any calculations, but this is so you can input as you use half elixirs or HEs. You can input as you use them, and then you can kind of compare the number at the end and see how close it was. Alright, going over this, here will tell you how many materials you have left to get of each type to make the primary goals, and then this is for the secondary. So the secondary is the secondary plus the primary. Alright. So with AP regen I added this recently, with AP and without AP regen. So with AP regen means that you're just going to be regenerating AP through the event and using that AP towards the event. And then this is how many additional half elixirs you'll need to get your primary goal, and then this is to get your primary and secondary goal. Without AP regen, this is just a snapshot of right now. If you wanted to just finish the event right now, this is what it's going to take. The top number is what it estimates it'll take at the very beginning, and then over time, this number here remaining is going to be lower and lower as you've done runs and you've gotten things, so that number will go down, especially using AP regen and such. So that's what to expect, and this is the same thing. This just how many runs you have estimated, and then how many half elixirs you'll need to use. Alright, I put the YouTube video link here so you could watch this. Some important notes here: don't mess with the regional settings of the spreadsheet, because that screws up all the calculations. If you want to do that, then you need to, what I suggest for everybody to do is to just save a copy in your own, and it should be file and not quite make a copy, but there should be like download as or save to my drive. I don't have it on this ID. Alright, so big suggestion, download it to your own, then you can mess with regional settings if you want to put in your own times. Otherwise, here in the input page, you put in everything according to the time of the game, because this spreadsheet is set for the time zone of the game server. So whatever it says, you can input in here. Quick note. How do I want to do this? Alright, since I'm already talking about quick notes, Somebody messed with my numbers. They did, they did, they did. I'm gonna need to fix that. Okay. So, down here, start and end times. You have to input them in this format. month/day/year space hour colon minutes. That'll input them here and get all this calculated. If you're European or from some other way that uses the different time format, you'll screw it up. What you'll need to do is, again, download it to your own drive, and then you can click here, go to format, and then this is the format I have it in. So you can go to more formats and custom number format and switch those around. And it should, in theory, then work with all this. Alright, so you need to input, I went pretty much in pretty good detail here. 7 sleep hours, alright, let me go here. 6942. Don't mess with this. Should lock that cell, but if you have a different number, a different average that you find that you drop, you can certainly put it here, but don't do it on my master copy. Alright, so this is the average materials. Let's see. Okay. Since I haven't done any runs from the other ones, so difficulty, this really only works on Ultimate. If I could gather data to get averages for the other ones, then I could make it so that these change along with these averages. AP cost, most of the time now we're in the discounted. D is for discounted, S was for, I can't remember what the S was for here. Standard. Yep, standard. Used to cost 40 to do Ultimate, now it's just 30 all the time, so that's what that is. Start time, end time, I'll tell you how many hours, I'll tell you how many rounds you can do with your AP, input how much sleep you get every day, and I mean, it'll just work out what you can do. Alright, another thing to talk about here. This right here just estimates how much time is remaining in the event. This is the total time for the event from when maintenance ends to when the event ends. So maintenance ends, event starts to event end. Alright, over here to the side, this one I couldn't quite fit in, so I had to kind of put it over here on the side. If you're going to be doing additional things with your AP during the day, you can input them here. Do not only input them if you're going to use your AP regeneration on them. Don't input if you plan to run like Gem Quest and use half elixirs for it. Don't input. Because right now what I do is every day I do 2 Ultimate Cave runs. That's going to cost me 100 AP. And then 3 rank 5 accessory quests, 120 AP. So I'm already using 220 of my natural regen AP, which takes out of this, which is why it's saying I can do 6 runs per day. If I were to, let's say, remove this and say 0, that would run up to 10. So that has an effect. Alright, so there's all the inputs. Now let's go to your goals. The goals here, these are all the item drops, or the exchangeable items. Some of these you can also drop from the enemy. Now, what you want to do is set P is for primary, S for secondary, this is if you don't care about it. So like this event, let me go over here to my calculator. So this event, you'll see secondary, 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 all this stuff secondary. My primaries, actually soul points should even be secondaries. Secondaries, alright. So silver books, gold books are primaries. I want to get the tickets, I want to get the half elixirs and the magic jewels. And then there's no final limit break FLB. There's none of those in weapons for this event, so don't put anything here. What you'll do is, this one's special, you'll put it in primary, and then you'll put how many you want to do, how many
you want to FLB, and that will add the mats into the materials needed into the calculations. If let's say you have 2 that you want to do, and you've already done one, then you remove, go down, there's 1 left. You need materials for 1 more, or 0 when you have no more, or there's none. Alright, so primary, now what's going to happen is you only do anything in these cells when you have exchanged for or gotten a drop. So let's say, for example, you're going after the SSR Eidolon, and it's your primary, let's say it's your primary, and you only want to get enough to MLB it. You know, you're not like some of us veterans that just clear the shop out no matter what. What you'll do is when you exchange from the shop, you'll mark yes from left to right, but if you get a drop, you go right to left. So every time it drops, you mark from right to left. And the reason being is that when you're exchanging, you're doing the cheapest ones first. So if you get 1 drop here, you only need to exchange for the first 4. You don't need the 5th because you'll have it MLB, so you don't need to save the mats up for that. So that'll just remove the mats from the calculation. So that's how that works. Again, yes, no, SSR weapon. One of the weapons is the same cost for all 4. That's this one. This is the different cost for each one. SR weapons, different cost for each one. Soul points, again, you mark these as you exchange for them. So if you've only exchanged for 10 of the soul points out of the total 60 that it lets you, you just mark 10, and it removes those from the calculation. Says, all right, I've already got 10, 50 left, and it tells how many mats you need left. So like this one, gold book, I've already gotten all 10. I've input it, it removes it, etc., etc. So, you know, I've already gotten all these, already got all those, already got all those. They're no longer in my calculation. So what I can do here is do a quick little input. 425, 367. 367. Whoa. Okay. Accidentally hit that. 367. 158 and 91. 158 and 91. So there's all my materials that I have now. I have no more. I've gotten everything I need for my primary. That's saying I have negative mats, which means I've gotten all I need on my primaries. And then my secondaries, it says I still have 21 half elixirs left to use with AP regeneration. So that's what tells me now this is the number of mats and the number of runs. Alright, so now let's go over here to input page, and let me just show you this real quick. So I'm going to do material exchange. Silver books. 10, 50, 50, and 100, 150, sure. Let me get all those. All 10. Exchange. They're part of my primary. Okay. So now let me go over to the sheet, and if you'll remember, it says I have 21 left. So, come over here, silver book. I just exchanged all 10. There's all my primary goals completed. And now, I put this 275. Whoa. Page down again. Finger is just slipping. 267, 108. 108 and 41. And there you go. It kept 21. So you just change those around and it adjusts and you're all good. So that is how you use this. That's how I use this. If you really want to look at the analysis page, you can. I mean, it gets a little deeper into some numbers. Originally, I was doing all this stuff to create this. Anyways, material cost tables, don't mess with these. This is the cost of everything in the shop.
And then I kind of put together some instructions here, but I don't know how good they are still. I haven't messed with them for a while. So, there is how you use this Advent calculator sheet. This is the one I'm doing for the current event, Medjet. And this is the blank one. So what I usually do is, if you save this to your own drive, from the one in your own drive, do make a copy. Click on make a copy. Then it'll ask you to name it, and then I name it in the event that I'm running. And then I always have this one that is clean, fairly, untampered with, that I can just then start off when we get to a new event. So that is how I use mine, and I hope it is helpful to you. I hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to, post a comment in the YouTube, or make a comment in the sheet. I think you can make comments here, yeah. Or you can contact me in Discord. Lots of ways to reach me. So that is the Advent Calculator. Hopefully this was quick enough that you'll watch it and go over it. So until next time, happy hunting, take care, and I'll see you on the battlefield.